Coronation Street viewers are convinced that Sarah Platt won't remain behind bars for long, despite spoilers revealing that she will be arrested next week over Theo Silverton's death. Fans will remember that Theo was killed back in April, with his body eventually discovered by a horrified Betsy Swain during the night of Lisa Swain and Carla Connor's wedding celebration. The dramatic murder mystery had actually been teased months earlier in a special flash-forward episode aired in February, where Theo was revealed as one of 5 potential victims, alongside Carl Webster, Jody Ramsey, Megan Walsh, and Maggie Driscoll. A week after the wedding episodes, the mystery was finally solved when Theo was confirmed as the victim. His final scenes showed him tormenting Todd Grimshaw once again after months of emotional and physical abuse, before meeting his shocking end. Theo's death immediately sparked a major murder investigation, with several Weatherfield residents falling under suspicion, including Todd Grimshaw, George Shuttleworth, Summer Spellman, Christina Boyd, Gary Windass, and Danielle Silverton. Although the police investigation is still ongoing, recent episodes revealed a huge breakthrough when DC Kit Green discovered that his partner, Sarah, was actually responsible for the attack that led to Theo's death. Earlier episodes showed viewers exactly what happened on the night of the tragedy, and Sarah later admitted the truth to Todd. Even so, Kit continued trying to build a case against Gary instead of exposing Sarah. New spoilers for next week reveal that a special single-strand episode will see Sarah's secret finally unravel, leaving her with nowhere to run as she is arrested on suspicion of murder. The twist has surprised many viewers, with some fearing it could signal both Sarah's imprisonment and actress Tina O'Brien's departure from the ITV soap. Despite the dramatic arrest, many fans believe Sarah will not end up serving a lengthy prison sentence, and are convinced another shocking twist is still to come. One viewer insisted there was no chance Sarah would remain in prison, saying there must be another surprise waiting around the corner. Another fan suggested that Sarah may have believed she killed Theo when she left the scene, but claimed he might still have been alive, with someone else delivering the fatal blow afterward. They also predicted that neither Sarah nor Gary would be leaving the program. A different viewer argued that Kit would rather frame Gary than see Sarah punished, although they admitted Sarah should still face the consequences of her actions before eventually being released. Someone else believed Kit's deep resentment toward Gary will become the real focus of the storyline, suggesting the detective now has an opportunity to bring Gary down, even if it means exposing Sarah in the process. Another fan predicted that Kit could even destroy mobile phone evidence linking Sarah and Gary to the crime, leaving Todd without a solid alibi and making him the next likely suspect to be arrested. Coronation Street viewers believe the recent concern surrounding Lisa Connor Swain was nothing more than a clever distraction, after her daughter, Betsy Swain, became the center of a devastating new storyline. Fans had already been warned that emotional scenes were ahead for Lisa and her wife, Carla Connor Swain, when spoilers revealed that Betsy would be discovered unconscious on the kitchen floor at number 6 before being rushed to hospital in a critical condition. The shocking storyline unfolded during Wednesday's episode, when Ryan Connor found Betsy collapsed at home and immediately called for help. After being taken to hospital, doctors revealed that Betsy had suffered a stroke caused by a blood clot, which developed after damage to an artery in her neck temporarily interrupted blood flow. Following another stroke, Betsy eventually recovered enough to explain what had happened. Feeling frightened and ashamed, she admitted that her boyfriend, Dylan Wilson, had strangled her during consensual sex, with neither of them realizing how dangerous the situation had become. Before the truth was revealed, many viewers had been trying to work out what had caused Betsy's sudden medical emergency, while others feared that her mother could be hiding a serious health problem. Those concerns began after scenes at the police station showed DC Kit Green learning he had been removed from Theo Silverton's murder investigation. Lisa explained that senior officers had reassigned resources to a major drugs operation instead. During the same episode, Kit noticed Lisa taking painkillers and asked whether she was feeling all right. Although the moment seemed minor at first, it quickly caught the attention of viewers. When Lisa was seen taking more pain relief in another episode, fans became increasingly convinced that the program was hinting at a hidden illness for the detective. However, many viewers now believe those scenes were simply designed to mislead the audience, with the real storyline focusing on Betsy's life-changing medical ordeal. One fan said the opening scenes appeared to deliberately encourage viewers to believe Lisa was the one about to become seriously ill. Another viewer hoped the repeated shots of Lisa taking painkillers were nothing more than a false clue, and not the beginning of another tragic storyline. Christina's relationship with George Shuttleworth is pushed to breaking point in Coronation Street as she tells another devastating lie while desperately trying to hide her growing spending addiction. Their romance got off to a promising start after Christina found happiness with George, who was rebuilding his life following Eileen Grimshaw's departure to Thailand. Although stepping into Eileen's place was never going to be easy, Christina quickly became an important part of George's life, supporting him through both the good times and the difficult moments. George was so devoted to his new partner that he even gave her a job cleaning at Shuttleworth's independent funeral services, believing they were building a happy future together. The couple faced one challenge after another, including the legal battle involving George's funeral business. He found himself taken to court after being accused of taking advantage of a former client who had left him £10,000 in her will. As damaging accusations and negative online reviews threatened his reputation, Christina stood firmly by George's side, encouraging him to keep the money and fight the case instead of backing down. Their biggest test arrived when Theo Silverton was killed, dragging George and those close to Todd Grimshaw into a complicated murder investigation. Because George cared deeply for Todd and wanted to protect him, Christina also became determined to shield the people she loved from suspicion. In an effort to protect themselves, Christina lied during police questioning, a decision that unintentionally placed fellow suspect Summer Spellman under even greater suspicion. When officers challenged her version of events, Christina later insisted she had simply become confused about the timeline after stopping for petrol, and George accepted her explanation without questioning it further. However, that lie was only the beginning of Christina's problems. Earlier this week, Glenda Shuttleworth became suspicious after spotting Christina secretly visiting her car and immediately shared her concerns with George. At first, George refused to believe anything was wrong, but Glenda's suspicions grew stronger after she discovered a credit card statement belonging to Mary Taylor inside Christina's handbag. The truth became impossible to ignore when George later saw Christina meeting her former husband Lenny in the precinct. Realizing she had been caught, Christina confessed that she had developed a serious shopping addiction. She admitted she had fraudulently opened a credit card using Lenny's identity and had also used both Mary and Glenda's details to fund her spending. Although devastated by the confession, George decided to support Christina by attending an addiction support group with her, hoping she could rebuild her life and make amends. Mary and Glenda, however, were far less willing to forgive. Mary made it clear that trust could only be restored through actions rather than promises. Christina promises she is determined to change, but whether she can finally break free from her destructive behavior remains to be seen.